Hello, my amazing creative friends. Oksana here again, and today I'm going to answer a question that I've been getting a lot is how to make your Adobe Illustrator vector files smaller in size. Depending on your style and on the amount of details in your artwork, you might want to make your Adobe Illustrator file smaller and with that, I'm going to help you right in this video. All right, so why do you want to make your files smaller? You want, first of all, to sell on microstock websites, probably, and this means that you have to deal with the size. Basically the requirements for the size on especially on Shutterstock as the biggest microstock website, and Shutterstock it requires for your website for your vector files to be under 15 megabytes in size, in particularly for your EPS files. And another thing that will be helpful for you if you make your vector files smaller is that your Adobe Illustrator will run faster. All right, so let's get right into it and let's see what can be done. All right, so I have a few methods for you. Yes. So the first of all is you can make your artboard smaller. So sometimes you can actually make it really small if you have to. And smaller, I mean that for you, depending on how big the artboard size was originally. For example, to give you a perspective, you can, if you have your artboard size as 2000 by 2000 pixels in Adobe Illustrator, if you make it 200 by 200, which is actually acceptable, and since you have a vector artwork and not raster artwork, it will work well. And if your future customer who buys this artwork needs it in a bigger size, they can just scale it up back to 2000 by 2000 if they need to. All right, next. By the way, I will show you exactly how this looks after I tell you all the methods, so stay tuned for that. Second method that works well for me is to remove all unnecessary panel elements from your vector file. I will show you how to do that in a minute. And all the methods are basically going down in the order of importance, starting one, the most important one, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will explain and show you how to do all of them. All right, number 3, remove or expand any unnecessary effects from your artwork. So, for example, you have drop shadows, you have some kind of feather effect, some kind of all kinds of interesting transparencies and overlays, anything that goes under effects menu in Adobe Illustrator. You are not allowed to use that to sell on microstock websites, and so you need to get rid of them anyway. But just in case you're doing that just to make your Adobe Illustrator work faster on this particular file, you might consider removing the effects. They slow down the process and make the file bigger. All right. 4, make sure that any raster reference files are deleted. So I'll show you how to check for that. And this definitely blows up the size of your vector file. And I have an additional bonus point is if you want to sell on microstock websites, you should consider adjusting your style to have less points and textures in it. It doesn't mean that your files have to be super plain and very simple, even though that sometimes is in fashion and on trend. But I mean that you should be careful when creating your files about the amount of details you have in there. Otherwise, maybe you should consider selling rasters of your file or selling them in some other manner and not on microstocks, or maybe some particular microstocks that would accept your larger files. For example, you can check Dreamstime or Fotolia for that. All right, but I do think that Shutterstock is really worthwhile site, so this is my recommendation. All right, let me go adjust the Illustrator and go through all of these methods quickly. And let me just check for a second if we have any comments right here. And all right, let me see. All right, so I do see some comments. All right, you guys, I will go back and answer your comments right after I explain what's going on here. So let's jump back in here. All right, so I have, for demonstration purposes, I have created a pretty detailed vector pattern. Right here it has some very detailed snowflakes. Everything is vector. There's nothing raster in this particular artwork, as you can see. And it is a large file. So how do you check for the size? You select your artwork, and then you check width and height up here. So it's 2000 by 2000. And because this is a glitch of Adobe Illustrator, when you blow out your artwork this big, sometimes it gives you a little bit of a tiny little size off right here. And this means 2000 by 2000. Okay, so we have this file set up in Adobe Illustrator, and this is an AI file. What I'm going to show you is, first of all, how to save as an EPS file. You go to File, Save As. This is the folder where the AI file is, and select EPS, Save, and select EPS 10. So this is important for microstock websites. They want to have a EPS 10 file. Okay, so it's a big file, so it's going to save right now. All right, and let's go right in here. So now we have AI and EPS file. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to check for the size of your file. Very simple. So if you have this preview method set up, you can see here, so it's 16.3 megabytes. So, I cannot upload the CPS to microstocks. That's a problem. So we're going to fix that right in this video based on the methods I showed you. Okay, first of all, here how you find the size in the preview app, right, in the Finder app, right here, Finder Mac on the Mac. I do not have a Windows here, I'm sorry to show you, but this is how you do it on the Mac. And you can adjust the preview of the Finder folders here. And in most of the view preview versions, you can see the file right here. So you can notice that how bigger EPS file is than the same AI file. So that is an issue with the vector sizes. Okay, so let's go back. That's my favorite type of preview on a Mac. Okay, so now let's just try something. What we're going to do is we're going to open recent file and open our oh my god, where is it? There it is. So let's open our pattern again, and let's make it smaller based on our method 1. Make it smaller. Very good. 600 by 600 pixels. And how you adjust the artboard size, you click on the artboard tool right here, artboard tool, Shift plus O, and double click on the pattern, and it will adjust to the size of your art. Let's check, and once again, click on the select all, and it's 600 by 600 pixel. All right, let's save. Alrighty. And we're going to do File, Save As, and EPS once again. And let's just for checking purposes say 600. Call it 600 EPS. Save. Again, EPS 10 and OK. Let's go back in here. So we have 2 EPS files now. And this one is, we can click here, and this is 15.8 megabytes. So we definitely made it smaller. We can actually go down and do, instead of 600, do 200. If make it even smaller, that will work as well. But basically, we already made it smaller, and we are much closer to the end goal of making it under 15 megabytes. Okay, so my next method was, let me see. Okay, so next method, remove unnecessary panel elements from your file. How do we do that? We are going to, what I mean is we have these symbols right here, and we have these swatches right here. So Command Shift, Shift click on the swatches and click on the delete swatch selection, and the same on symbols. You should do that. You should do, oopsie, expand instances. You can see expand instances right here. All right, so this should be clean for your submission to microstock websites anyway. But all right, so we already have this file cleaned up. And the next method, what we're going to do is remove, or expand any unnecessary effects from your artwork. I do not have any effects in my artwork. I create my patterns already without any drop shadows or any effects like that. So I do not remove anything here. But you should check your files and then make sure that any raster reference files are deleted. All right, so let's see how to check. First of all, you might have something under some kind of sketch or reference file in your layer, in your locked layer, right? Oh, look at that. I have this raster file, and how do I know it's raster is that it has big X throughout the preview. This is the raster file, and this guy blows up the size of my vector. All right, let's delete that. So it was right here, and let's check again. Mid-ball, click on this mid-ball and check. Yes, everything is empty. We don't need this layer. Let's delete this layer. Okay. Okay, this looks like as if we have only one artboard right here. But no, it is basically what happens is we need to check again. Let's go to Object, Show All, click. My goodness, we had a hidden raster right here. Let's delete that one. Okay, so now our file, of course, we need to save it, and our file is definitely cleaned up much more. And let's see, what else can we make? Well, we can create our vectors in a smaller style. Oh, sorry, in style with less details. All right, so we did a lot to make this file smaller, and we still keep it 600 by 600 for now, because this is my size of artboard that I prefer. But you can play around with the one that you like. And let's go once again, and let's do save as, EPS, and let's even call it 2. Save. EPS 10. That's important. Okay, make it smaller. And let's do, all right, so what do we have here? Now our EPS is 10.9 megabytes. So we went from 16.3 to 10.9. Definitely making it even smaller artboard size will make it this file size go down. All right, you guys, so this is a demonstration how EPS files react while saving them in Adobe Illustrator. And these are the methods that I recommend, and they have been tested on my Shutterstock and on other websites. All right, so below this video in the description, I included the link to my blog post. And in this blog post, I included some screenshots and step-by-step instructions how to perform these size adjustments for EPS file. So please check it out. And also on the blog post, you will be able to receive my bonus free workbook with my tips how to make your pattern collection grow faster Yeah, so this is a goodie that I have for you guys right in there. And of course, thank you so much for watching my little Adobe Illustrator tutorial. I create videos every week, at least I try to. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you find it useful and helpful. Thank you so much once again. All right, let's go and see if anyone came to hang out with me here. And let's see. Melinda came. Hi, Melinda. Melinda says, I love your art. I'm trying to start my own business in patterns as well, and taking a class at local college this semester for Illustrator. What is typical income for this type of business, starting out and once established? What actual microstock company should we use? iStock, etc. I watched your video in it, but doing it is harder. Yes, it is that. Well, anything worth doing is not easy. That's at least what I believe. I'm worried about selling the image and then I don't have control over it after. Pricing each piece. All right, Melinda, this is basically, it looks like you really need coaching because these questions are very deep and go very much into detail. Oh, hi, Helena. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos because your questions, Melinda, are very wide and deep, and I can talk for hours about each of them. And it is not I cannot give a detailed explanation right here under this tutorial, but what I can tell you that just for maybe this will help you. I've been making income as a self-employed textile designer for 10 years now. First 2 years until I started making patterns, I was selling on microstock my vector illustrations, and I did not make a full-time, well, let's say, income to live on. But at the moment, I make a good income, even though I do not work full time due to my chronic migraines and the fact that I'm a mother. So yes, definitely you can make good income, and at the moment I make as much as a full-time employed textile designer makes in United States. So I am very satisfied with that. And the same, another thing is, what is a typical, wait a minute. Yes, and definitely, please do not think that this is a get-rich-quick scheme, because it's not, and it does require work. But the beauty of this type of work, selling textile designs and working with the companies and designing for the companies, is that you can work on your own schedule and you're your own boss, and that the vector files that you sell or prints of them, of your artwork, or any products, commercial products that you create with them and that you sell, bring you income like the investment in the bank. So basically, that's what my 10,000 vectors now bring in income every month. And I can do other creative work, like do these videos for you guys, which I enjoy. All right, let's see which actual microstock company should we use. So I have a video which is called Selling on Microstock, microstock websites, and that video explains everything. It is a presentation, so I do recommend that you check it out, Melinda. And then you say that you're worried about selling the image and then you don't have control over it after. Well, we do. To be honest, I believe that control in general is not real. So nobody has control over almost not basically anything, and it is a philosophical topic. But once I realized that control is not real and it's just in our head, my business grew. So this kind of a result of a self-development research that I did many years ago. And to be honest, I feel like people that only have 10 or 15 patterns in general in their portfolio, they might how do you say it? They might feel more afraid of selling them than the ones who have some hundreds or thousands. And that's the route that I went. I have thousands. Well, I hope this helps. It's kind of, I just speak the truth that I feel. I do not sugarcoat it in any way, because I don't want you guys to think that this is super easy. You will just make 10 patterns and you're done. No, this is hard work, but it is enjoyable work. At least to me, it is enjoyable. All right, Melinda says, your videos are amazing. Thanks so much for helping us. And I understand anything helps. You are so smart. And you make me blush, Melinda. It's hard to fit questions on here. Hopefully, future videos can help answer also. You're so sweet. Thanks again. Thank you so much, Melinda. I really appreciate your kind words and hanging out here. And thank you, Helena, for being here. Melinda asks, so basically once they are uploaded, they are constant revenue with minimal maintenance. Yes, Melinda, that's correct. And the beauty of the whole system is that even though you get only small percentage of what the end customer pays to the microstock company acts as the marketer for you. They find the customers, they promote your images if they're good, if they find them good, and you get basically recurring revenue, which is a passive income. So that's the beauty of it. And to be honest, I do complement my microstock income with my freelance client projects too. And it's been working very well for me because I enjoy seeing my patterns in real life on real products. So that's been a very nice combination, at least for me. But I know some other artists who only do freelance or who only do microstock. Yeah, I hope this helps. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video about making the size of your vector files smaller. Thank you so much for watching once again. And thanks, Melinda and other creative friends, for hanging out with me today. All right, you guys. Bye-bye. All right.